Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Monday the 23rd of July 2018. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me throughout the day on Twitter by using @ds_Pepperstone. Alright, let's take a look at the overnight changes and price moves to be aware of. And as it's a Monday, we'll look at things from a weekly perspective. And these prices, at least for the FX majors, are as of Friday night's close in New York. So, things I want to point out today. First of all, the weekly move in the yen. We saw the yen weaken significantly against the US dollar over the prior week, but it has fought back to some extent, closing at 111.39 on Friday night in New York, down 0.86% on the week, the Japanese currency against the dollar. But of course, it had been lower and had tested back to 113 in the form of dollar yen earlier in the week. The Mexican peso also giving back a little bit of ground. Remember, the Mexican peso strengthened significantly after presidential elections in the country at the earlier part of July, but back above 19 now to the dollar, 19.019. It closed on Friday night in New York, so that was a gain for the dollar on the week of 0.73% against the Mexican currency. It was also a week of change for the Brazilian real, a change of 2.12% there, and this time it was the dollar's turn to weaken. The Brazilian real fighting back after being under considerable pressure for the whole month of July and for much of the rest of the year as well. Dollar index for its part closing down at 94.45, and it's eased off again this morning. A change of minus 0.32% on the week. 95 still remains a bridge too far as the US dollar is concerned, or at least as far as the dollar index is concerned, I should say. And it was a better week for Bitcoin, which was up 11.49% over the last 7 days to trade back above $7,500 shortly before we recorded the video. Okay, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. It's a relatively light start to the week. Just a few items of note on today's calendar. Kicking off with the Bundesbank monthly report, a look at the state of play of the German economy and the Bundesbank's own finances. At 12:30 GMT today, we cross over the Atlantic for the Chicago Fed National Activity Index for June, one of a number of regional Fed indices that the markets follow closely, looking for clues about the US economy. At 12:30 as well, we'll cross over the border and into Canada for wholesale sales data month on month for the month of May, and then back into the US proper for existing home sales and home sales change data for the month of June. We'll also have at 1400 GMT consumer confidence for the Eurozone for the month of July, a preliminary read, but nonetheless an interesting one, a potential forward-looking indicator there. And at 15:30, 3- and 6-month bill auctions from the US. Always worth paying attention to these, just to see how the market's feeling, how keen it is to lend money to the US government, and at what on what terms, perhaps I should say. And then to round the day off at 1700, back to the UK for a speech by the Bank of England MPC member Broadbent. Right then, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye over the weekend. And first of all, Donald Trump's critical comments on trade, the dollar and the Fed have unnerved the market. US equities finished flat on the week and dollar index closed well below 95 as we just saw. Meanwhile, US Treasury Secretary Mnuchin issues a warning to China, telling Reuters that the Treasury is closely monitoring the Yuan for signs of manipulation, and the Treasury will next report on currency manipulation across the globe in mid-October. Meanwhile, Japanese government bond yields have leapt in Tokyo on speculation of a change to central bank policy. The Bank of Japan had been targeting a 0% yield on its 10-year bonds. Is it now going to deviate from that and try something new? Right then, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and beyond. Why not think about this? Much has been written about the threat to jobs from automation and the deployment of robots, but it seems that the road to that future won't be without bumps and pitfalls, or pit stops I should say, of its own. And here's a chart via Morgan Stanley and Ace Max Analytics that shows the slowdown in industrial robot production growth in June. And basically you see the growth and deployment and creation of industrial robots all the way back to 2016 to the current day, and then the long-term trends or average trends in that production and production growth. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and foreign exchange on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or the suitability of the products for you, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative. Thank you for your time.